Hello. So I got some questions for my Q and A. I didn't get a lot, to be honest, so it shouldn't take too long. But if you're painting away, you can have me chatting away in the background while I answer some of your questions. And also, I'm going to give you my findings of what people have said about unboxing videos. So, brush and quill. What period would you never model? So I've no interest really in modern warfare. I've been there, seen it, done it. Probably the latest period I do. I'm quite interested in the Vietnam War. So I have written a set of rules for the Vietnam War. So I'd be quite interested to do that. I was thinking about doing my own figure range for Vietnam, but yeah, not at the minute. I've got too many other things on the go, but yeah, I'm just not interested in modern warfare. Anything past Vietnam, I'm not interested in really. So I wouldn't do that. The Bronster, that's my son. When are you coming back? Idiot. It's a bit cheeky really, Bran, because you pissed off to Australia for 6 months and only just come back, so don't be cheeky. Yeah, he's inherited the same stupid sense of humour that I've got. Yeah, thanks, bro. Idic Beer 40k. Do you think historical painters will use the new contrast paints? Yes. There's already some doing it actually, Nick. And some really good examples. Walkabout Games, Chris, he's done some ACW stuff and they look really nice. There's another guy, I can't remember his name, I've just started watching, just subbed to him, and he's doing War of the Roses. He's done some of them. I'm not sold on the armour. I think I'd still use metallic. I think if you had a nice mix of them, contrast and regular paints, I think that might work, but yeah, I'm not keen. I think they look a little bit too pastel-y for me. They certainly saved time, because I was looking the way he was doing his horses and I thought, do you know what, that could save hours. But with cavalry, it's not the horses that I mind painting, it's bloody riders. So yeah, I'm not, they're just a bit too faded. They look a bit faded, they look a bit pastel-y. I'm not 100% sold yet. I'd have to buy some and try them out myself, but historical war games are definitely using them, but I'm not sure they're for me. Maybe if I started a new period, I'm not gonna. I was thinking about doing English Civil War, or that sort of time period. To be honest, I want to get some land schnecks or connects or however you pronounce it. Because I really like their models. I like all the colourfulness of the units. I think they look really striking. I'm thinking of getting that Warlord starter box set. I think if you had 2 of them Warlord starter box sets, that'd be it, you'd be done. And I was looking at Goblin Gaming and they do 20% off. But I need to get some of the mountain shifted first, and I want some Roman. Listen, so yes, Nick, people are already doing it. I'm not sure it's for me because I think they just look a bit pastel-y. I'd have to buy some, but they are quite expensive, so I've heard, so I'm not sure I'm going to make the investment. Basic miniature painter. How often do you paint and for how long? When I'm on nights, I don't paint at all. Very rarely. I might take something to work sometimes and paint it at work. But even at work, some nights I just won't get the opportunity because it's ridiculous. But when I'm off, on my week off, I try and get at least an hour a day in. Sometimes more. Sometimes I'll just sit all day and paint. So in my week off, I paint quite a bit. But when I'm at work, when I'm on nights, I just come home and I'm absolutely shattered and stressed. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I find it quite, de-stressing to do a bit of painting. But generally when I'm on nights, I'm just knackered and yeah. So, there you go, mate. That's your answer. On my weeks off, quite a lot. Sometimes, like a couple of days a week, I'll spend a full day painting, and I'll always try and get at least an hour in. But it's school holidays at the minute, so I keep having grandkids to look after, and glad they can go home. Victor C. Sinner, what's more important as a game mechanic to you, command and control or morale? For me, command and control. Although both are really important, but it will depend a lot on the type of game that it is. So I've written a Napoleonic set of rules. I say in the past I've written a Vietnam one. For big games, for me, command and control is the more important. I mean, they both are important. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, for big games. For skirmish games, or for these games where you could develop your characters and develop your minis so they can get better and whatnot, I think then you're probably looking more at morale, because the better the morale, the better skills they'll get and that sort of thing. And I think that'd work kind of like that with that mechanic. So yeah, it depends on the game. But I tend to concentrate more on big games because that's what I like. Even though like you've got that SPQR and stuff like that, which seems like it's scale up quite well. I look at them as an intro to getting some figures and starting the armies. Same with Mortal Gods. It's just an introduction for me to buy a few models and get them painted, and then that way also I can tell whether I really want to commit to painting thousands and thousands of models, or whether I'll just leave it as it is. So command and control, big games, morale for games like Mordheim, that sort of thing. 2 more questions. It's not going to be very long, this video. Tabletop Wolf, name some good historical TV shows and movies. Carl, I don't think I'm going to come up with anything that you haven't already seen, mate. I probably watch the same as all of us. Movies wise, I'm trying to think of something I've watched recently. I'll tell you what I did like. I like Master and Commander. I don't know if you've seen that with Russell Crowe. I was really hoping that, based on the books, because the books are quite good. If you've not read them, read them. Can't remember who the author is now. But yeah, they could have continued that. And I was hoping that they would, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Rome. There was HBO, I think, and a crappy BBC, but fortunately it looks like the BBC didn't get the claws into it too much, so it was actually good. That's probably one of my favourite historical ones. There's not much fighting and battle. It's all about the intrigue, and I really enjoyed Rome. I wish they'd carried that on. I think the rumour is on the second series that they rushed it because they decided they didn't want to make any more, which is a shame because, yeah, it was really good. I watched Vikings. That's quite good. The Last Kingdom. The first 2 series are a bit rubbish, but the third one's good that Netflix did. That's a lot better. You can tell straight away that it loses that BBC influence. I'm going to keep knocking the I hate the BBC at the minute because all about this bloody television license thing. It's ridiculous. So I'm kind of boycotting the BBC. But that's another matter. Films. I haven't come across. There is a Vietnam War film coming out. Danger Close, I think it's called. It's about the Australians in Vietnam. So I'm looking forward to that. That looks good. There's another one called 1917 about World War II that's coming up. That looks quite good. But yeah, apart from that, I just watch the same as the rest of it. Zulu and Bridge Too Far and, all that, Troy and all them kind of films. Kingdom of Heaven, all of them. Any old war film that I can watch. One of my favourites actually is a black and white one, Ice Cold in Alex. If you haven't seen that, watch that. That's really good. But I dare say you've already seen it. So yeah, obviously Peaky Blinders. Anything else I can think of? No, I watched something called The Royal. was about a hospital. That was alright. That was a period drama. I do like period dramas. I will tend to watch most of them, at least, and give them a bit of a go. You can't ever normally just base it on the first episode because they're introducing characters and things. I always think, even if you think the first episode is a bit crap, try and watch the second one, and then you'll find you'll probably get into it. I mean, I did that with Vikings. I found the first episode ever of Vikings rubbish, or at least first time I watched it, and then the second episode got me gripped. So yeah, that's about it, mate. I can't really tell you anymore because it's just, I haven't got any really original ones. I think it's just the same as what we all watch. And the last question is from Jim Merry Hinge. By the way, all these people that left me these comments, they've all got their own YouTube channels, so please go and check them out. You won't be disappointed. So, Merry Hinge, it would be good to hear about how you got into the hobby and how your interest developed. I've already got a video on this, Jim. I know it's a long time ago. You did mention that in your comment. But if anybody wants to know how I got into the hobby and all that kind of jazz, it's how I got into wargaming video. It's in my back catalogue somewhere, so just go and check that out. Basically, shortened version. I've playing with toy soldiers ever since I was a kid. I ended up working for GW, and it all stemmed from there, really. And also, where do you get your inspiration from these days? You seem to be a man with lots of ideas and sidelines, be it rules writing, figure producing, etc. So inspiration, do you know what? I get most of my inspiration from watching other people's YouTube videos, or I watch TV series like Rome, which is why I'm tempted to get the SPQR Caesarian Romans, because I was always going to do Imperial Rome before, but it's just so I can have a Lucius Arrhenius and Tito Pullo in my army. So I get inspiration from TV shows, watching you guys, seeing what you're all up to, because every time you look at another YouTube video, it's a bit of a curse, because somebody's doing something you think, I won't do that, that looks really good, and so you end up doing another 10,000 million projects and just building and building and building that mountain. So yeah, it's danger, but I like it. I like watching other people's videos, and I like seeing what they're up to. It does inspire me. I mean, it's a Landtrex, JVC Paints, James. He's doing some Landtrex connects. How do you pronounce that? And who else? I think Stephen Smith possibly was did a couple of units, and I looked at them and they remind me very much, if anyone used to play Warhammer Fantasy, of the old Empire figures. And I thought, I used to have an Empire army, so I thought, yeah, that'd be quite cool to do them. I still might do that, but first of all, I've got to get these Austrians done and some French. And when I've done that, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll be able to do something else. So why have I decided to make my own figures? I'm just gonna, I've got my Marines. I'm just gonna sort them out and send them off to Griffin Molds to get them cast up. Start off in resin, and then I'm gonna glue all this different bits and pieces together, a bit of green stuff, a bit of conversion, and then get the proper production molds made up. But it's just money. I'm absolutely skint at the minute, so yeah, all that in another video. So yeah, I just wanted to have, a little bit of input, if you like, into our hobby. It's something I've always been interested. I've been writing rules for years and years and years, and I thought it'd be nice to have some figures to go along with my rules. So that's why I've done Napoleonic figures this time round. And then with the death of Warhammer Fantasy, which was probably my favourite game that I used to play, it definitely was my favourite game. And then they brought along Age of Shitmar, and it just killed killed fantasy off, and I kind of wanted to replace it with something. And I looked at some other Napoleonic rule systems like Black Powder. What's that other one? I looked at two, so some others, and I can't even remember what the other one was. But there were bits missing that I didn't like, and there's bits in it that I thought, well, that doesn't even make sense, because, you know, I'm not an expert on the Napoleonic era by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know quite a bit. I know how the troops worked, I know how they fought, I know how the weapons worked. You know, I know that kind of thing. I know some of the history. So I'd like to develop my rules, and there's a couple of changes that I could put in to do like American War of Independence and to do Ancients as well, which would be quite easy. I've got an idea for Ancients already. But again, there's that many different things in the Ancients. That's what makes it tricky. Some new word for you. So yeah, that'll take a bit more thinking about. But with Napoleonics, I'm not an expert, and things like, did they have silver buttons or did they have gold buttons? Who cares? I mean, some people will care. I don't care. It's more important to me to know how that unit fought. And even historically, I don't care if they ran away and they gave up the colours. Well, I do, because it's that's a bad thing. But for me, painting them and gaming with them, you know, it doesn't make any difference. I'm not gonna reenact the Battle of Waterloo, because if you did, you'd have to play it how it panned out. If you're gonna want to do it historically accurate, you just have to copy what happened. So what's the point? And if you do it another way, then it's not a historical reenaction. It's a game of Napoleonics, you know, and this is what could have happened. So anyway, I'm digressing. So the reason I wrote the Napoleonic rules, well, I was writing them before the death of fantasy anyway. But when fantasy died, I thought I need a gaming system that I would really enjoy to play, that's not too difficult to learn. It represents the period well, and it's quite competitive, because I know a lot of games now, they seem to be, it doesn't matter who wins as long as you play. And yeah, all right, again, you know, it doesn't matter if you lose when you play my rule system, but I want you at least to try and win. I want it to be competitive, so you can have fun with it, but you know, the idea is to win. So yeah, and the figure producing, I just wanted to do some figures to go along with them rules, that rule set, and then I've got another idea for a set of figures. I think it'd just be fun to have a couple of ideas, but now that me and my 3D printer guy, 3D sculptor guy have fallen out, I'm gonna have to find somebody else probably to do that. As I say, I've got Paul Hicks doing some sculpts for the Marines, so I'm really happy with that. But the way I like to make the models is so that they are multi-part, and then I can glue them together to make one-piece sculpts. So I get more from him, but more bang for my buck is the only reason I do it that way. Otherwise, you know, if I was paying Paul to do a range and I wanted 24 different poses, it's £200 per figure. It's a lot of money. Whereas if I can get 8 figures done or 6 figures done and have them in different poses, so the arms are separate and the heads are separate, I can swap everything around and get a lot more poses for a lot less money. If that makes sense. Rules wise, yeah, I just want a set of rules that I thought I didn't have the problems that other rules have got, and some of the things that I've come across over the years while playing and thought that's annoying. So I've just kind of done that. So that is the end of the questions. That's all I got this time, at the end of Q&A. And as for the unboxing, so the general consensus is, what I got from the feedback is that kind of 50% of people don't like them, and 50% of people do like them. People do prefer it if there's more than just, you know, here's an unboxing, and that's it. People do prefer it if some models are glued together, or at least you don't have to paint them all. Just, you know, paint one, or you don't even have to paint them as long as you glue a couple together, to give an example. And I thought, after some of the feedback, I thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should give them a try. So I have watched a few unboxings, and I can see where people are coming from. If it's something new you haven't seen before, like for example, I was watching the old Wargamer, and he's just got a delivery from Perry's, which I looked at more as a loot haul than an unboxing, to be fair. But he showed the models there, and there's a little Napoleonic French aide-de-camp with a telescope resting on his horse, and I thought, wow, that's a cool model. So now I'm going to get that, and that's through an unboxing or a loot haul video. I like loot haul videos, but I like to see what people loot they've got. But I've watched some other unboxings, and they're like 20 minutes long, and it'll be, here's a plastic sprue, there's that head, there's that head, there's that head, there's that head. I'm like, Christ, somebody shoot me now. Well, here's, I bought this MDF building. Here's a sheet of MDF. So you need to cut that bit out, and this is a door, and this bit's a window, and we've got a bit of broken. Really? You know, you can do an unboxing. It's great, and it's very interesting if it's something new, and if you just hold up the sprue and say, look, you get 12 different heads on there. That's pretty cool. 4 different bodies. Boom. We don't need to talk about that sprue anymore. We don't need to hold it in front of the camera for 10 minutes going over every single little detail. You want to do that, chop a few off. There you go. That's one I've glued together. Here's another one. So you see, they're pretty cool. Here's another one. Do it that way, not just monotone. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I have watched some. And the ones that are short and to the point, I like them. They show you something new. They give you a bit of an idea what's there. Even if they don't glue anything together, I've quite enjoyed them. Or even, you know, better still, paint something. But even if they just show, and it's quick, or they've got a Victrix, something new from Victrix, and they'll go, here's the Victrix model. Here's a Perry model. You could see the height difference and something like that, or scale, or how big they are, or how squished up they are. Great. And I think that is one of the main things I got from the feedback from you guys, is that we do like, or most people, 50% of the people like an unboxing. Some people will just watch them anyway, regardless. But the feedback was that if you're going to do an unboxing, keep it short and to the point. Don't waffle on for 15-20 minutes just showing a piece of MDF or a plastic frame. And if you are going to make a long, I mean, you could do that video in 5 minutes, and then it'd be worth a watch. You could say, look, I've got this foreground building, and here's a picture of the packet, so that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I just thought I'd quickly show you how the frames look. Get one out of the bag. There you go. As you can see, there's some walls and stuff on that one. Blah, 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 blah. That's the last one. A few more bits in there. All these needed gluing together. But as you can see by the picture on the box, it looks like it'll be really cool when it's done. So I just thought I'd show you, so you can have an idea, if you buy one, what you're going to have to do with it. Great. How long did that take? Not, here's an MDF thing that's been laser cut, and oh look, this one's been painted white. Oh, Christ, shut up. Anyway, I'm just moaning now, aren't I? I think as you get older, you do tend to moan more, don't you? So yeah. Not all unboxings are rubbish. Some are good. Short and to the point's better, I think. Don't shoot me. But yeah, if you're going to do unboxing, you know, just keep it keep it short and to the point. You don't need to go on for hours and hours showing the 4 different poses you get, and if you glue this arm trim you can do this, and if you glue this arm trim you can just glue them together then and show me that. But don't keep me hanging on looking at a sprue for 20 odd minutes. I'm going on. I'm cracking on with my Austrians. It will never focus, will it? So I've painted the flesh, started painting the trousers, and I've done a little bit on these guys as well. See, I've got this little trick that I do that I find it psychologically quite helpful. My intent is to paint these guys, the landwear, there. And what I do is when I've got the same colour for these, is I've done the backpacks on this guy, and I've done the faces, so that I feel like I'm cheating a little bit and getting a head start with them. So when I come to finish them off, there's a lot less to do. Just a little psychological trick that I use to get me painting stuff. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope all your projects going well. I've been watching most of your videos. Well, most of them. I've been playing catch up because, as I say, it's kids' holiday, so I've had grandkids quite a bit, and I've not had much time to paint or watch videos. But I am playing catch up again. So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for the questions, everyone that's questions. Thanks for the comments, subscribers. Hope your stuff's going well. There will be no steals at the end for a change because I have no steals to take. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.